Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play series for A Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. I am S.A.N, and when we last left off, we just finished off in the Eldin Temple area and closed that rift, and wow, was it not fun. So, rather than go directly onto S.A.N, I think I'm going to take this video off and do some side stuff, mainly explore the map, look for heart pieces, and generally do some side content stuff, just to prepare for going forward, because we don't have much of the game left. We're almost done with the second act, and there's only one part left after that. So rather than go down to S.A.N, I think we'll explore the remaining sections of the map to start filling those in.
Oh.
So we might do some side content stuff like that as well, but I don't know how much of that involved. I want to get in most of that. And I really don't want to get involved in a lot of these pointless conflicts with these little tweeless things. So, as I said, we're going to be filling in the map mostly today, because I want to explore as much of Hyrule as I can, look for any heart pieces, and I want to finish up here in Eldin first so we can never come back here ever again. Because, in case it isn't quite clear, I'm getting quite tired of Eldin. This has been 2 games in a row that's been quite difficult on me to get through. And I probably will be glad to see the end of it. So I'm just going to start exploring up around here. We should be fine for potions. Oh. Another fire wizrobe. Yeah, that's most. I think we've explored most of Eldin. So we'll probably leave from here as well. There's also some side rifts, like some small sections of Hyrule that still have smaller rifts left. We might do some of those because we can get level up Try a bit more. I doubt we'll get enough for another level. We'll probably need to go to S.A.N for that, but nevertheless, it might be worthwhile. Yeah, so like I said, I think I'm pretty much done here. But there's a section of the map down here between Eldin and the Gerudo section that we haven't filled in yet, and then we'll probably move over to Jabul Waters. So let's go there first. And leave Eldin behind us! So I already explored this region a little bit when I first got to Eldin. I found a couple heart pieces here, so I'm not expecting too much more, but it cannot hurt to fill in the map. This is a Zelda game rewards exploration, so let's do some exploring. There is a rift up ahead, I suspect. Alright. Yep, okay. Well, might as well solve this over here. These never take very long. In all honesty, I probably should have taken care of this when I was still in the Gerudo Desert, but what's the difference? Let's go inside. Alright, 4 areas. Yeah, so this is a small rift. Alright, what's in this cave? Oh! Redead. A Shadow Redead, and it has Cry's friends. That's interesting. The Wizrobe seems to be immune to the Redead's paralyzing cry. And they're, wow, they are not really up to dealing with my Wizrobes. Okay, that's one down. So where do we go from here? Is this a... oh, nope. Okay. That's just a pit that damages us. Or we fall into. So where do we go from here? Huh. Alright. I'm fairly certain we have to go up on those ledges, but let's just explore this cave first. Yep. I have to fight the Redead again. And the stupid little tablet, tile things. so... Yeah, there's no way to proceed further in. That's just a void. And that's just another pit to fall in. Alright, so... Is that a passage there? No, I think it's just the wall. This bed echo pays for itself, though. Yeah, I'm not going to need the lava rock echo anymore. I'm not going back to Eldin. Basically, ever. Kinda need everything else, though. Yeah, I can't... See, what I'm thinking here is that's, like, a window or a door to go through, but no, it's just part of the wall. And even when I go all the way to the top, there's no way to proceed, yeah. So the key is not this cave. Presumably it's this ledge. And there we go. As we can see here, we eventually come to a gap we need to cross. Well, there's a bit of waste time, that's fine. Didn't waste too much time, at least. Alright, more oh! Okay, that fell through there. I'm gonna say sand dunes, one of which has the next shadow orb we need. Alright, where's my wind cannon thing? Haven't needed this in a long time. Alright, that's 2 down. Alright, where to go from here? Up? Doesn't look like there's much. Oh, there's stuff over here. Alright. I probably should start using the C-stick to look around more. I'm not used to doing that in top-down Zelda games, because this is the first one where that's really an option. And now I have to deal with these club moblins. Fortunately, as you can see, once they're frozen, I can just lift up and toss them. Alright, there we go. So that's the one who had the shadow orb. Now let's go up. Alright, you deal with him, and I'll get this. Ow! It doesn't... its attack pattern is a little slow sometimes, but the Wizrobes really are powerful. They make short work of every other monster in this game so far. Alright. And this looks like it takes me back where I started. Yeah. Alright, so clearly I think I've mapped everything out, but there's something I'm missing. Alright, let's not go back to the start. That's not going to get me anywhere. It's probably up in the upper up area. Let's go take a look. Alright, nothing up on that ledge. What about over this way? Yeah, looks like there's another island up there. Probably a good place to start. Yeah, there it is. Winding staircase of clouds. Alright, there we go. And that's all 4. Like I said, unsurprisingly, we didn't get enough experience to level up Trimore. We didn't even get enough might crystals to upgrade the sword fighter form again. We'll probably do that if I get enough of it, if I remember it as well. But in the meantime, let's take a look around here now this place is restored, because we might be able to find something else. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty standard. Oh, okay. Sealed chamber with presumably we have more of these floating tiles. They've done these before. Of course, normally I have Link's shield to, you know, crouch behind and protect myself. I don't have that here. Well, we didn't take too much damage. Some really weak monsters guarding this chest. Probably not a heart piece. Like I said, I don't think any of the heart pieces thus far have been in chests. I think they've all actually just been in the overworld itself. So, not likely to be that, I'm thinking. But we will see what it is. Still worth getting. Maybe. It might just be nothing. Ah, it's rupees. That's fine. 100 rupees. Alright. I'm replenishing my riches after depleting them, making all those potions before. Alright. Where to next? Oh, I see a stamp platform. Well, I might as well grab that while we're here. Well, that reminds me. I think I missed one of those back in Lanayru. If I can remember where it is, we'll go get that. If not, I'll probably just get it next time. Yeah, I don't really remember where exactly that was. I know it was on Mount Lanayru somewhere. I think it was in one of the areas that was covered by the blizzard before, because I remember us having to get through there relatively quickly. Alright, yeah. I don't really remember exactly where that was. So, probably to leave that for now. Let's explore this area over by Hyrule Castle, where the Eastern Palace was in Link to the Past, because this map's quite similar to Link to the Past map. And I still remember the layout of that map very well. Because, as I said, I replay that game once a year. Sometimes I probably replay it more than once a year. I have considered revisiting that game on my channel at some point. I mean, if there's any game that I should be accustomed to be able to do a speed run for or something, it's probably that Link to the Past. But we'll revisit that at a later date. Alright. Yeah, I remember this area. They had Octorok called with Octorok before too. Yeah, so that just leads towards Hyrule Castle. We've been there. That's where I'm getting some more fairies, because I don't remember dying, but apparently my fairy bottle is now empty, despite the fact that I must have at some point. I don't remember dying at any point during this. Oh, these glaze again. Nope, that spell went off to nowhere. Oh. If they freeze, can you just throw them in the water and they drown again, like in Tears? No. No, they don't. Oh, apparently they also become immune to being frozen while in water? That's new. I think it would be easier to freeze them. Okay, so there's a great... It missed me somehow. There's a graveyard over here. Graveyards usually have something in Zelda games. Oh yeah, that Dampe's house is just over there. He did want me to visit him. I'll do that just to showcase what it is, but I'm going to tell you now, I'm probably not going to make any real use of what he gives me. However, just for the sake of completion's sake, I will go there and show you. Alright. I see unlit braziers. Okay.
Oh.
Yep. Ghost settings here. Hidden staircase. Yeah, I think I see where the hidden staircase is. Please don't. Well, unfortunately, this is a Zelda game. And when there are unlit braziers, you light the braziers. And if this opens up a secret staircase like I imagine it's about to, yep, there it is, you go down the secret staircase. Those are just the rules of the game. Alright, I think I remember this little... It's not kind of like a mini cave area. It's not really a dungeon, but... I remember this. If I remember correctly, there's going to be... Yeah, an unusual echo over here. Yeah, there it is. This stuffed bear, which for some reason, these ghosts are obsessed with. I am going to be perfectly honest with you. I do not really know why this is here. Other than just add some sort of creepy factor to this game. Oh wow, the wizard spell destroyed it. Okay, can I get that back? Because I would like to get that back out. Not for any actual practical purposes, I just want to collect it. You know, the whole gotta catch 'em all thing. Alright, so there's more genies in there. Yeah, it does come back. Alright. Let's just learn the echo, which I will never use. Yeah, so it's a stuffed teddy bear that for some reason ghosts are drawn to. Oh, I didn't actually want to. I don't actually want to use it. Yeah, I don't know why that's in the game. Ah, yes. I remember this eye switch. I remember correctly, this took a while for me to get last time. I'm pretty sure I know what to do this time. But we'll deal with the ghosts first, and then we'll deal with the switches which we need to use to get out here. If I remember correctly, last time I tried using the teddy bear, the cursed teddy bear, to try and figure out this puzzle because it's, well, you do get something new in a Zelda game, you usually want to try to figure it out. It's usually useful for solving a puzzle or something. It wasn't in this case. I'm pretty sure what we need to do is actually just use, where are they? Yeah, the Genie Echo. And target this and it'll just attack it. There we go. Yeah. Much simpler than, I think it took me quite a while to figure it out last time because I was trying all sorts of things. There we go. Oh, he's big and green. Oh, and there's lots of ghosts. I assume this is what the intended purpose of the teddy bear is, but I don't think they're a match for my wizard. Nope. Oh, there we go. two blasts and he's dead again. All right. Genie level 2. Is that pronounced Ginny as in like Jin or Genie, or is it pronounced Genie because it's a G? I actually don't know. I'm gonna keep going with Genie until it gets corrected. Because it sounds more accurate. Alright. I don't think there's much left in here. No, there's the exit. And my reward's a golden egg and a cursed teddy bear. Oh, well. Side content in Zelda games do not always give you the best rewards, but still worth doing. Alright, so where to from here? I suppose it makes sense for us to go visit Dampe now as opposed to come back later. Because it's right there. Like I said, this is kind of just me showcasing what he has to offer. I don't really intend to make use of the things that he's going to give us. However, just in case, again, anyone's using this as a guide for their own playthrough, I might as well showcase that. But first, we have some moblins to take out. And by that, I mean we need to have our Wizrobe slaughter some moblins. Because they aren't going to put up too much of a fight. Except for that one with the sword and shield. Because as you can see, his shield can block the Wizrobe's spells. There have been shields that block magic in Zelda games before. Usually they're given to Link and not enemies, but what can you do? Yeah, we need to get the angle for this right. He needs to hit it from the sides or the back. Oh, well, if I'm interested in the meat I used to try and distract it. Oh well. Gets a good swing on occasion. Oh, the Wizard's aim needs to be a bit better. There we go. Alright. And our reward for that is another useless monster stone. Oh well. Alright, we're getting near Dampe's place, so yeah, I should really start using the C-stick to look around more. Alright, up this way. There's a warp point here. So as you can see, he's traded in his usual kind of creepy gravedigger aesthetic for that of a mad scientist inventor. Yes, so now he's working in a studio on automatons. So essentially he's making clockwork simulacrum based off of all the monsters that we encounter. Yeah, inspired by monsters. He likes making jokes about his and puns about his automatons as well. But he's run into a bit of a problem. He can't get inspired by anything, so he wants us to help him out with that. So yeah, he wants us to get an automaton that can shoot up into the sky. So he needs inspiration, and because we are the main character, it's up to us to help him out with that. So a creature with a big eye that can jump around, that's a tech type. We have that. And it needs something that shoots hot smoke from its backside to blast forward. That's the Mathul Echo. So we have both of those already. So, yeah. Let's summon both of those, and you can see the result. Alright. So that's the Tektite taken care of. Now we need the Mathula Echo. I'm combining two echoes I've never used before here. Alright. So now he's gonna get to work on the automaton. So we're basically getting a rocket-propelled Tektite out of this. The Tektite, yeah, he calls it. So the reason I don't really care for these clockwork automatons is... Well, first of all, we already have our echoes. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because it creates a shockwave when it launches. But we need the winding key here to wind them up. So it takes time to set up. And they're made, and they can break, and if they break, we have to fix him, visit him to get them fixed. And he requires rupees to cover cost repairs, whereas our echoes can be used infinitely. So I'm probably not going to make too much use of that. However, he does have a journal here for those of you who want to continue this little experiment of his. Yeah, so this time he needs... The creature spits stones out of its mouth. That's an Octorok. And then he needs a firework, an echo we actually don't have yet. Apparently there's a Goron on Eldin Volcano that makes those. I got bad news for you, Dampe. I have no interest in going back to Eldin so anytime soon, so it's probably not going to happen. So sorry, but someone else can do that if you want. Alright, let's finish up exploring this area before we proceed on because there's this ridge up here. And I'm going to need the water block to get up to it. However, there might be something worthwhile up here. These high places are places that love hiding heart pieces, it seems. Oh. This is the region the Eastern Palace was in last time. Let's explore this region. We haven't done anything here yet, so this is the first place I've become a Link to the Past, so let's explore this area. It's nice to visit a nostalgic area. Alright, take a bit of a nap first. Oh, oh dear, a moblin has spotted me. Apparently they patrol a little bit. Oh, these ones don't have shields or swords, they just have javelins to throw at us, so they should be fine, except for the fact they're going to start pelting my poor wizard. Yeah, well, guess what? I have another one! I don't have to pay Dampe to repair it. I'm also fairly certain there isn't a wizrobe automaton. There we go. Oh, no, that one survived. There we go. Alright, and the reward this time is... I mean, it's probably going to just be money, if nothing else. Radiant butter. Okay, I haven't really been making use of that, because we haven't encountered many dark places yet. Just a couple. Well, maybe... it's coming from Pharaon. I don't really remember what the gimmick in Pharaon was. I remember it's going to be the area with lots of electricity, because we've had fire and ice. This area seems to be a bit more closed off than it was last time. Well, rather than go all the way around, let's just go over the wall. There we go. Oh, there's someone here. I scared him, apparently. Okay, he's an archaeologist. Apparently there's a monster inside here. Okay, apparently there's a monster inside the Eastern Temple that wants to play a game. Alright, let's see what's inside here. I remember these things. They show up in lots of Zelda games. Yeah, alright. Should be able to just sneak by. No, they don't do damage, unfortunately. Alright, so we've got 3 sparks, and we've got a block in the corner. Alright, what's gonna happen? Okay, yeah, I see now. We're supposed to get them both in there. Alright. Well, that's just gonna require me to put some ice blocks down. And there we go. They all feed into the battery, I guess, and it opens the door. Alright, another one. Okay, this one's a bit more complicated because it has elevation that we require. Okay. Well, let's just put the ice blocks against this wall. And then move this rock. I think one of them's just going to go straight in, but we're going to need a bit more to get the other one, yeah. Alright, it's going the opposite direction, so we need to turn it around. Or block its path so that it goes up that way. Gonna take some timing. And not getting shot, obviously. Oh, apparently if you trap it under an ice block, it gets stuck. Alright, that did not do it. What happens if I go... Alright, so that goes around there, comes around here, goes up there, and keeps going up. Not good enough. Alright, so that's not... Yeah, I basically have to make use of this number of ice blocks. Or at least this number of echoes, because I need to use these... There we go. Oh, that's gonna... Oh! Actually, I think this works. I guess we go in the other side now. There we go. A little more convoluted than I thought it would be, but it did work. Okay, well, this... I'm probably gonna get shocked here. Yeah, alright, let's just open it. Rock salt, okay. Alright, before we go down that ladder, because that probably leads further into the temple. What's on this side? Okay. How do I even get over there? No, that's the ceiling right there. Alright, so I can't go over. Well, I can't go through, so... I guess we'll have to come back for this, or we're probably just going to forget about it, because I don't think it's that important. Alright, where's this ladder lead? To a 2D section. They really have changed the layout of the Eastern Palace since I was here last. Oh, apparently you can kill those things. Alright, so I now have the Spark Echo. Maybe that's how we're supposed to trigger the gate, by getting them to go into the block there. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't think there's anything important over here. This is just a small dungeon. Okay, water and electricity really do not mix, so this could be dangerous. Okay, so this is like in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where they just create a bigger electrical field when they get exposed to the water. Okay. As long as I stay out of their way, it should be fine. Actually, it's fine regardless. I don't take damage from this. They've really underplayed how dangerous water and electricity would be. And maybe I would take damage if I was in the water at the time, but that's fine. Alright. Short rest before we continue on. And here we have our boss monster. I believe his name is Smog, Smog. Not Smaug, or Smog from The Hobbit. But yeah, Smog is a monster who's showed up in Zelda games before. I believe it was one of the Oracle games that showed up in the last time. I do not remember exactly which one, but this is pretty reminiscent of that fight. So basically, like the Sparks, he's going to travel around here. And he's going to shoot lightning at us. Every time we damage him, he splits up into clouds. I think he adds more each time we go along. Now, in order to win this boss fight, we now need to get those cloud fragments back together. So we need to use these... I'm going to use these ice blocks here. Last time I believe we used the Cane of Samaria, but we don't have that. And we need to get them all together to reassemble him, essentially. And this is basically it. It's kind of a puzzle version of a boss fight. A lot of Zelda games are like that, but this one, I think, quite well done. Alright. Oops. Yeah, so I just need to time this right. These are probably in the way now. Alright. There we go. All we have to do is delay it a bit, and then he'll come back together. Now we blast him again. As soon as the Wizard Robe is done being electrocuted. There we go. Alright. Now he divides again, this time into 5. I think this is the last phase, actually. Alright, we need to let that one out so it'll come out. The nice thing about leaving these ice blocks everywhere is they also block the electrical projectiles. His actually do damage us, by the way. Because it would be pretty sad if there was a boss monster in this game that had no way of attacking us. It doesn't do much damage. Alright. Nope. I messed that up. Timing up on that. Alright, that's fine. now need to get these two together. Alright. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is trap these three down here. And see if we can get them all, corral them all, and have them collide at some point. And then we'll focus on getting the other two over there. The downside to this is, as you can see, yeah, there's too much space. I need to compress them more. Ah, and being electrocuted is not going to help at all with that. Alright. Alright, let's see. Now they're all going around this single section here. Maybe I can make this work if I time it right. That is the serious problem. Every time I get shocked, I get paralyzed. For a brief moment. Alright. There we go. They're corralled again. The downside is, this isn't a very big circuit. So, the timing is going to be critical here. They're all kind of... Alright, once this one moves on... Ah. Also, it'll sometimes jump to these other spots. I don't understand why I kept doing this. Putting the ice blocks in those corner ones there. Was I trying to slow it down? That does happen. If you add more blocks, it alters the route, which will take longer. Alright, there we go. They're even more corralled now. Unfortunately, as I shrink this, it's going to get even more difficult. As you can see, they're going to keep shooting lightning bolts at me. There we go. Okay, I managed to get all three now. Now we need to get the other two. So we need to let it out now. Try and connect them up this way. Alright. Reset all of the ice blocks for a moment. There we go. One more to do. It's just over. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes it'll skip to the sides a little bit if there's something in its way. I don't understand why it does that. Alright, there we go. They're closer now. We just need them to touch. Right, block this off. There we go. Oh, missed. Come on, hit it! Unfortunately, he's quite quick. But that's all it takes. Yeah, well, we've met you before, and we're still winning, buddy, so that's a bit of a problem. And we get a heart piece. Not a full heart container because, well, he's a pretty easy boss. He's kind of a sub-boss. Alright, there we go. First heart piece collected, then we need... And now we just need to go back to the front of the temple and tell Sago he can come in now. So let's go do that. Apparently he saw Smog fly out of there despite the fact that Smog, you know, kind of just blew up. Alright, apparently we've made it into peer-reviewed academic journaling. And he's going to give us the Ancient Charm. So basically this is kind of similar to the ability or blessing you get from in other Zelda games, usually from Great Fairies. that halves the damage attack. It usually makes your hearts have a white outline around it. Did that in Ocarina of Time, at least, and Majora's Mask. I'm positive we can equip more than one accessory at some point in this game, but I can't remember how. It doesn't matter. The Ancient Charm is quite useful. Alright. A lot of area in Jabul Waters we haven't explored yet, so let's go there. Ah, nice, cool, crystal, and tranquil waters. This is a nice change of pace after Eldin. I need this. It also doesn't help the fact that Canada's going through a bit of a heat wave at the moment. So it's actually quite warm at the moment while I'm recording this. Oh, a stamp thing. You only need one more of those. Alright, so a lot of it's up. And on these trees, I think? Yeah. Well, we can explore up there now with these water blocks, so let's go. Yeah, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be much here. I mean, there's a red rupee over there. There's a chest over there guarded by some moblins. We're heading towards the River Zora village now. See, I'm trying to find if there's anything worthwhile doing here, and also filling in the map. So, to the north of us here, I guess. There's the River Zora kid that's afraid to go in the water. Alright. Oh, there's another stamp thing. Alright, might as well grab that. So this is the second card we've completed. If I remember correctly, once we complete one of these, we get a bottle. But I do not really remember how many of those we need to do, so I don't know if it's going to come up. We have 2 bottles already. I think there's 4 in this game. I'd like to get the bottles, though they're less useful in this game because you don't need them for potions. I kind of miss that in the more classic Zelda games. Resource management was more of a thing. You only had a limited number of bottles. It made potions and fairies much more valuable. But since Breath of the Wild, since Breath of the Wild, we can basically just make as many potions as we need, up to a certain amount, obviously, because we still have a limited inventory space. But it's a lot more, and the bottles have become somewhat less reliable, or at least more valuable as it is, because I have 2 currently, both of which are empty, and I'm not really feeling all that concerned. But I'll probably end up finding as many of them as I can. Alright. What's behind this little waterfall thing? Can I go up there? No, the current of the waterfall disrupts the water blocks. I see. They'll just fall apart. So there's clearly something up there that's important. Let's go take a look. Yeah, there's another sealed chest guarded by monsters. I'm not going to bother with all of them. Yeah, this is a surprisingly large area that I haven't explored before. Oh, these currents here are too strong for this. Alright. Back to solid land, and then we'll go up this way. Alright, so what's in this area? Yeah, it is relaxing to be here, and probably it's nice and cool, and you can go swimming, and yeah, like I said, the heat wave at the moment is really making me wish I could do that. Alright, more sand crabs. These were very dangerous in Link to the Past. Mainly because they took 2 hearts off of you, and in the early game you don't have a lot. The water seems to disrupt the ice spell that the Wizard was casting. Or maybe just casting it down at an angle that it hits the water instead? I don't know. Alright. Where's my bombfish echo? Because I can't really be bothered. I don't want to waste too much energy transforming into sword fighter form for this. Alright, there we go. Purple rupee. Well, I'm getting lots of rupees out of this if nothing else. Now I need to find use for them all. Ah, looks like there's another rift here. We'll go deal with that in a moment. I want to finish exploring the rest here, just in case there's something important. Alright, this looks like a... Oh, heart piece! Heart pieces are worth getting. I think I... Oh, and a fairy! There we go. This looks like a fairy fountain area, so that makes sense. Alright, let's die down and get the heart piece first. And then we'll figure out how to get the fairy in the bottle. It's been a long time since I had to put one in one of these bottles, so I don't really remember. Oh, okay. We just slice it. Alright. So, yeah, I have a fairy, and I'm halfway to a heart container. See, I remember having a fairy before, but I don't remember it being used, but I must have died at some point. Huh. I'm drawing a blank when that happened. Alright, so here's the rift. This looks like it's one of the mid-sized ones, so it's probably got an entrance somewhere. There it is. Alright. Let's go up here, and let's deal with this rift. Right. That's going to get us too far to the edge of it, and we're going to get walled. There we go. Alright, in we go. 2 mini rifts in one session. And we might not have much time for anything else after this, depending on how long this takes. Alright, in we go. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, not a very big one. Only 3 areas this time. Alright. Lots of water, so I'm probably going to need my Chomp Fin Echo. And of course the water blocks are coming really handy. Haven't eaten you in a while. Go, Sharpedo! It's trying to come out of the water. It's out of the water! I didn't know it could do that. Shouldn't it suffocate? I mean, I know a fish can stand a little bit of time out of water, but still. Alright. Wow, this one's really easy to get. Alright, 1 down. Wow, if the others are really that easy too, we're not going to be here too long. This doesn't look very big, so I'm guessing they're on the eastern side. There could be one up top as well. Alright. Back the way we came. Start swimming up. Just in case we... Oh. Apparently, I summoned on the other side. Could easily use the clouds for this, but why not? We're in a water area. Let's use the water blocks more. Alright, they're probably down here. Oh, no, I didn't want to go back up. This is the problem when the controls change from the 3D areas to the 2D areas. Sometimes that disconnect happens. Alright. 2D platforming without a map this time. Alright. That gets us over here. Not a lot to look at so far. Oh, okay, there's one. This one's guarded at least, but by a little fish that will be eaten by my really big fish. Alright, that's 2 down. Now, presumably, the second one, the last one is on the other side here. Makes sense. Yeah, I keep trying to check the map, but because I'm used to using the map to navigate these areas. Can I do that this time? Wow, they really want me to be... They're being really picky about where I summon these water blocks. There we go. Oh, more Bari. Okay. We can just avoid them. Apparently I want to try and have the shark eat it, but I don't think it's going to work. Oh, there we go. Kind of a watery maze with electricity. Well, that wasn't too difficult. Alright. That's all that done. Alright. Yeah, once again, we're closer to getting level 9, but not enough yet. Alright. That should give me enough might crystals. Yeah, 10, so I should be able to upgrade something now, though. However, I'm pretty sure I forgot to do that. this video. I'll add it on to the beginning of the next one. That's fine. Alright, so we're back out here now. We're kind of getting a prelude to what Pharaon's going to be like with all its electricity. Alright, so there's stuff down there, and there's a section over there that is probably going to have anything in it. That long stretch of the fog on the map still, it's probably going to be nothing. But I might as well fill in this area as well while we're here. Alright, so just down this way. Alright, so it's now, we're in the right region now. Is there anything here? Oh, there's a treasure chest. So I'm guessing not a third heart piece. No, just river horses. Something I've never really made use of. Alright. I mean, there's, in all likelihood, absolutely nothing in that region. But let's fill it in while we're here. So, up this way, again, I'm pretty sure there's not much up this way. Oh, there's a bumble wall. Alright, rather than sort through all my echoes, let's actually just use the bomb this time. There we go. And then quickly revert back. That used barely any energy. Okay, just a treasure chest, and this one is the silver brooch. You can wear this high-quality jewelry to make rupees appear a little more often. Alright, but I can't use the rupees I have. Oh, that's still technically not in the right area. Alright, up we go even more.
Yep.
Not quite. Alright. Water blocks here then. Then we'll go up. Okay, we're getting back towards where Lanaroo was. Oh, I remember this region. I tried to get over here. I think there is something over here. I don't remember what it was, though. I may have messed up getting to it, but if the region gets too cold, my water block's just going to freeze, and then so will I. So it's probably not going to work out too well. Yeah, it's getting cloudy again, so we're getting higher and higher. And there's ice and snow up that way. I imagine if I keep going this way, eventually... First of all, it's going to be very hard to see with all this fog. And second of all, it's probably not going to amount to much. I mean, I could just teleport right to that warp point right there if I wanted to. But just an experiment, let's see if I can get how high I can get up. Alright, nope, I'm going to start freezing there, and there we go. The water blocks became ice blocks. Yeah, that's not going to work. There's a tiny little rift there, but I don't think it's much. Alright. That's the Lost Woods, that region there. That, I've left that unexplored because we will have to go there eventually. Alright, so there's... Alright, I think that's enough exploring for now. Let's head back. Alright, and this is where we're probably going to call it for today, because we did quite a bit. There's a few more things I want to do before we head to S.A.N. I want to go back to Blueberry's place, I can't remember his real name, and do an upgrade on the Sword Fighter form, and maybe go back to Lanner to see if I can find that stamp place. But apart from that, thank you for watching, everyone. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and please join me here again next time as we continue on to explore lands of Hyrule into the region of S.A.N. to get the third and final goddess's sanction, in hopes of defeating Null before they eat away at the land of Hyrule, which I love. Goodbye, everyone. I hope to see you next time.